Actually, I have. Now you interrupted and I gotta cut you out. Hey, what's going on? My name is Brandon and I'm a guy who flies. Welcome back to my channel. So, some of you know that I've actually been at home for a long stretch of days, 9 days to be exact, because I had to call out sick from a 6-day reserve block. When you have to call out sick on reserve and you have not accrued enough sick time, then it starts to affect your pay. And that's a no. I know how I got sick. I didn't have a major cold. I just dealt with a lot of congestion up here, but I just didn't feel comfortable like being on the plane and serving people and interacting with folks with all of this going on. So I decided to call out, but I wanted to come on and share some of my tips for staying healthy during winter flying. So I would say that in general, like, I'm not someone who's like super germ conscious. However, I do like to operate under the mentality that nowhere and no one is safe. So at any given time, I just typically assume that anyone I'm interacting with can get me sick, and anything that I'm interacting with can get me sick. I'm not gonna say I walk through life fearing that everything's gonna get me sick, but at the same time, I do like to acknowledge the fact that germs exist, germs are real. I used to do the germ test with my students when I taught kindergarten, so yeah. I will share that I am not a nutritionist, I am not a doctor, I am not a medical professional, although I can save your life on a plane. So all of this is stuff that I do that I found to be helpful for myself. Some of the things that I do, one, I periodically drink Emergency. Like, I don't know if you all know, but it's a powder substance that you can mix with water. I sometimes mix it with my orange juice, the orange flavored ones. But anyway, I periodically will take that just to boost my vitamin C intake. The second thing is, I think for me, it's diet. Like, I never underestimate the benefits of a real balanced diet and what that can do in terms of providing you with the proper amounts of minerals and nutrients to help your body sustain, fighting off any potential cold. When we were in training, one of the things they mentioned is that once you all start flying, all of you will get sick, like within the first month. And guess I did not get sick. Like, no. I don't know if it's just the immune system that I've built up as far as teaching in elementary school for the past 6 years, or some of these helpful habits that I'm about to share with you. But I didn't get sick. It took till month 5 before I got sick, and I realized I didn't get sick on the plane. I didn't get sick at work. I know the person who got me sick. So the next thing is, I always have my coat, my hat, my gloves, my scarf with me. Being on reserve, you never know what you're going to get called for. You never know where you're going to get sent. And the last thing that I want to do is be sent out on the road or come back into base and it's freezing cold and I feel like I'm not properly dressed. So whenever I go out on extended trips, I always make sure to put those like winter layer and outerwear items in my tote bag so that I have them, because yeah, they could tell you that you're going to be sent out somewhere, you're going to have a layover down in Miami, and then you're going to do this and fly back, and before you know it, you have a mechanical, or you have to divert, or you get rerouted or taken off a trip, and next thing you know, you're in Wisconsin and you're like, so I only have shorts, my uniform is the only cold weather clothes that I have, and I have no outerwear. And I don't like for that to happen to me, so I like to always make sure that I have my outerwear with me. I have my notes right here, that's why I keep looking down. The other thing is, when I'm actually on the plane, I try to be as proactive as possible. So for me, that is always wearing gloves. Like, some people get really comfortable and they like stop wearing gloves. I always wear gloves. I wear gloves when I pre-flight my equipment, because that plane may have gone so many places over that day and X number of flight attendants have worked on it. I don't know their habits. So I wear gloves when I pre-flight my emergency equipment when I first get on. And I make sure that I always wear gloves when I am picking up trash. Like, for me, it's a pair of gloves on my right hand, and I hold the trash bag over in my left hand, and I always grab with the right hand that is gloved, or I let the person drop their own trash into the bag, because I'm not touching your trash, your snotty tissues, and all of those other things with my bare hands. No. The second thing is using antibacterial wipes. I never underestimate the value of a wet one, especially if it's non-generic, like it's actual something that I know has like chemicals in it, or something that can help not just spread the germs around, but actually like kill the germs when I wipe it across some of the common surfaces that we have to use. So yeah, if I know I'm going to be on a plane for like an extended period of time, I wipe down some of the common surfaces. Stuff that I'm going to touch like 50 times and over the course of this flight, I make sure I wipe them down. Because the next point is that I am constantly washing my hands. Like, I get on the plane, like I put my stuff away, I will get settled, get all my stuff where it needs to be. I told you all I glove to do my pre-flight of my equipment. After that, take that glove off, I go wash my hands. People come on, people start boarding. You know, if I'm one of the people working in the aisle of the aircraft, you know, before we can board, before we can push back, we have to close the overhead bins. So there you go. You're touching all of the overhead bins that thousands of people have touched. And what I'm going to do, get back to the front. My bins are closed. I'm going to go wash my hands. Like, I am constantly washing my hands. We get up in the air. It's time to get up. We have to set up the cart. We're touching items. We're touching the cart. We're touching supplies. After the cart gets set up, I go wash my hands. And then I don't touch anything else until I go do service. And then after I do service, I'll typically go ahead and opt to do the first run of like collecting garbage. And after I collect that garbage with the glove on my hand, I go wash my hands. Because typically after that, I know I'm about to eat.
And between taking care of ourselves, like you get so caught up in taking care of others, it's really easy to forget about taking care of yourself. And so I know one of the things I love to do is snack and eat. And so I gotta make sure like my hands are clean. Like I will wash my hands raw if I have to, but I'm constantly washing my hands and putting on lotion when I'm up in the air. Like, when you think about it, like it's a flying tube and the air is recycled. It comes in the vents, it's sucked back out, it's pushed back into the vents. It's just cycled air. And so if you think about it, even on something as long as like a 2-hour flight, you're literally breathing the same air as everybody else in that cabin. And I mean, 100 plus passengers all bringing on their germs and mess with them. Like, no, you want to make sure that you protect yourself.
The second thing is being proactive on your layovers. So you got to think about it. We get to a city, we have a layover. We leave the airport, we're getting on a van. The van takes us to a hotel. We check in. You get to that room. You're staying in a hotel room. Now, I worked in the hotel industry for 6 years before I was a teacher. And so I know a thing or two about hotels. And one day I should do a video on just like layover safety. All about hotels. I'll write that down. But anyway, once I get to the room and I do my quick creeper check to make sure that I'm in the room by myself, put my bag down, I pull out those same antibacterial wipes and I wipe down many of the common surfaces in the room. The things that I know that I'll use, whether it's 11 hours or whether it's 28 hours, I wipe down the remote because I'm going to turn on the TV. Some people put the remote in an ice bag, which is also a really good idea, but that bothers me. So I wipe it down. I wipe down the phone because I always set a wake-up call, so that means I'm also going to pick up the phone when they call me. So I wipe down the phone. I wipe off wherever the button is to turn on or off the lamp. Like, I wipe that off. I wipe off the door handles to the bathroom and to the actual door. And then lastly, if the room has a fridge or a microwave, I'll just like wipe the handle to like the fridge or the microwave. I only do that because, like I said, working in the hotel industry for 6 years, like I've seen like what some of the shortcuts that can be made. Not saying they happen at every hotel, but I just know like some of the shortcuts that can be made when you're cleaning the room. So for my own safety, I just wipe those things down. Now I could be doing all of that and it's pointless, but for me, it just gives me a little bit of reassurance that I could have killed any of those germs that I could have picked up from the previous person. And then I check for bed bugs. Outside in the real world, I'm not as proactive. I would love to hear from you all, so drop down below and drop a comment. What habits do you all have or have you built for yourself that help you maintain a healthy lifestyle during winter flying? Stay safe, be blessed, happy winter flying. Fly.